Hi there, it's Dave Arman at NIRI, and I'm with Dan Kinel. Dan is a lawyer with Harter, Secrest, and Emery. He just gave a great presentation on disclosure, and there's some changes coming up in terms of Web FD, really, based on some guidance that the SEC just gave. Can you tell us what your advice is for companies?
Well, the changes aren't really coming up as much as the Commission has said that the companies that want to move to an Internet-only disclosure model may be able to do that if they meet certain requirements. And on Tuesday, I'll be giving a seminar on the web and fair disclosure, and we'll talk about what some of those requirements are. We'll talk about what some of the pitfalls are, and we'll talk about what some companies that have gone to that model are finding, experiencing, and what they're doing. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Any surprises on the questions that came out of this session today?
No, I think people asked some real good questions. I think we're somewhat surprised by the short time frames that are involved in Regulation FD violations. That you could have a disclosure that happens on September 19th, a 8K that's filed on September 20th, and liability that results from that. And I think people really are focusing on Regulation FD. The Commission, the SEC, is focusing on Regulation FD. They're focusing on violations of Regulation FD, and I think we're going to see more activity in the area. And one thing I hope that people at the conference take away from the events throughout the conference is how to avoid those issues. Nobody wants to be the poster child in an enforcement action.
Right. You gave a couple of case studies involving some enforcement actions that have already taken place. If an IRO wants to go and do that research quickly, what would they look for in terms of guidance?
Well, I think you can do two things. You can go look at the SEC's website, www.sec.gov, or you can take a look at the NIRI link at the conference, and I think my outline's available, and those case studies are both described in detail in that outline.
Perfect. And then finally, just on social media, you said that a tweet is not wide enough distribution to be considered a disclosure channel. Tell us a little bit about where you think a company should go in terms of communicating with investors using social media.
I think companies should be very, very careful about considering and using social media, and if a company is dead set on doing it, they need to develop a very careful, well thought out, written plan with their lawyer, with their director of IR, and with the people that are